Attention here in the Media Center. We will continue on with today's Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series media availability, and we're joined now by Clint Bowyer, driver of the number 14 Mobil 1 Annual Protection Ford for Stewart-Haas Racing and the pride of Emporia, Kansas. Clint, you had a fun event out here yesterday where you're teaching teens the art of safe driving. Was it do what you do or don't do what you do?
No, I thought it was Doug Herbert started that brakes program years back. I was always a big fan of his. He was always a lot of fun, and tragically lost his two sons in an accident. And just love his message. I love that, the program that he's pushing to keep these kids driving safe, keep them focused on safety behind driving, and starts at that early age. So, I appreciated Mobil 1 and their annual protection program that they're pushing to sponsor that event for those kids. We had a lot of fun, and it's so fun. It works. The program really works. I mean, here's these kids with, I think they had to have 30 hours of driving. Obviously, I already had their license. Put them through a few courses, just, threw some things at them, driving down the road and all of a sudden, a surprise, maybe it's a tire blows out and it's in the road, or something runs out in front of you. Do some exercises like that to see how they react. And then we had like a slalom course set up where you were having to kind of dodge some obstacles as you go through, and all of them run over the cones. We had a little old man set up that you had to stop for before you got to it. We run over him a lot. And then by the time it was all said and done, they got better at it, and I wouldn't let them out of the car until they had it perfected, and it was pretty gratifying, really.
Good deal. We'll open the floor for questions. If you have a question for Clint, we'll get a microphone to you. We'll start with Randy, then go to Jerry.
Hey, Clint, Randy Kovitz. I don't want to start with this one, but I will. we know what's happened over the last few years with the different teams and all, but it's 159 races now. Just how is that gnawing in you?
It is, but to be honest with you, you don't even think about that. You think about, the winning. I never think about how long it's been. I think about how you're gonna get it done. And you have that thought process through the week as you're going through competition meetings starting Monday. Through your conversations with the crew chief all week long, and the biggest thing is you're lined back up with an organization that's capable of doing that. That's item number one. With a manufacturer that's capable of doing that and is winning races and competing at the highest level. Each and every week you go to the racetrack knowing you're going to have a chance at winning the race. So all the past, all the stuff that's happened, it's the furthest thing from your mind, because you're back to having fun, and you're back to sitting in equipment capable of winning these races and competing at the highest level.
Go to your back right to Jerry, then up front to Todd.
Jerry Jordan, KickingTires.net. I guess that stuff with the kids kind of got you a little bit prepared for what's coming down the road with your own.
Yeah. Well, it certainly gives you a different outlook. Having kids and reading about those programs and understanding them, and then watching those kids go through them. Being a parent, it definitely changes it.
Along those lines, I've been asking drivers about their moms and what they're doing for this weekend, but what about Laura? What are the plans for your little ones and you for Laura coming?
That's a little different caveat than I'm accustomed to. It's always mom, Ma Bowyer that you've always thought about, and now you have mom that lives with you. So we had a great week. I think it was they call it a mother's week. We took the family and just kind of road tripped it in a bus. Stopped in Memphis, went to the zoo, which I'm sure she wanted to do. Thought that was exactly what she wanted to do. And then we went to Big Cedar Lodge over there that Johnny Morris owns, and swam in the pool for cash, which I thought that was exactly what we wanted to do. And then we had a cabin where she slept in one bed with the baby and I slept in the other with Cash. So surely that's what she had in mind for a Mother's Week. That's family living, right, at its finest.
Hey, Clint, Todd Palmer, Kansas City Star. Kind of piggybacking off Randy's question, how close do you feel like you are to getting a breakthrough back to victory lane?
Well, I mean, you look back, California it's always been a good track for me. I like it. We run third there. Showed some potential. you know, in Bristol, I mean, had I got out in front of the 48, I'd have won the race, you know. So we're knocking on the door. We're not knocking on the door enough. You know, last week we led some laps and you know, showed potential again, but we just, you know, it takes the whole package. You got to put it all together. But it all starts with consistency, running up front on a consistent manner, week in and week out. We've got that good baseline established, and that's with no notes, nothing to work with, no experience with one another, no communication. You know, we're learning all those things, and you can see it getting better week in and week out. You know, where you get excited is going back to these tracks for the second time, where you have that notes, you know, that notebook established and that line of communication down, where you can go there and know what to expect and capitalize and better your position. And in some of those races, a better would be a win.
Go to Chris and then the Lee.
ChrisKnight, Clint, since Daytona, you've finished every single lap in every race since then, and obviously kept the consistency model. How important is that as you guys try to race your way into the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, you've got to, again, you got to start that baseline and get that established, and you know, I feel like we have that. Now it's time to better that and get into the top fives and get more stage points and you know, lead laps. I mean, that's you have to lead laps to win these races. You can't just be you know, an 8th place car, and you have to get up and lead laps, and you know, we need to get a couple stage wins. You know, we have to have that going into the playoffs. Do I think we're going to make the playoffs? Yes. You know, I'm not saying that arrogantly or cocky. I do. I feel like we're a team that's going to be in that one way, shape, or form. Whether we race our way in or win our way in, I think we're capable of doing either.
Lee Spencer, Motorsport.com. What do you think it is about Kansas Speedway that just is, I don't know, it just hasn't been one of your best tracks, and there's got to be a lot of pressure because it is your home track, and you know, we always hear about you, Carl, Jamie being the guys here.
Yeah.
Is there a little bit of pressure, or what do you think?
Well, a 1.5 mile repave's never really been my strong suit. I mean, it just hasn't. Doesn't matter where it's at in the country. Unfortunately, it's you know, been here, but in the last year and a half, 2 years, it's really widened this track out. The outside groove has come in, and the racing has been a lot better since that first race. It always gets better, so I'm looking forward to that. And the biggest thing is, it's just, you don't even think about that anymore. You don't think about your past. Everything is, it's like a clean slate. Every time you go to the racetrack with Mike and all the guys on the 14 car, everybody at Stewart-Haas, it's been better than I've had. So there's no reason to think it's not going to be better this week. I know Mike was excited about the car. He worked, he knows that this is an important one for me. He knows that, you know, I need to run better on these types of racetracks. But looking back at Vegas was solid. Texas was solid. Atlanta was solid. I mean, I think we can better that and you know, be a part of the show here at Kansas.
Additional questions for Clint?
I can hear you.
Back to the first streak, big question, to end that streak here. I mean, what would that be to end that streak here?
It would, Mother's Day she wouldn't be proud of me. If that was to happen, I probably wouldn't be in very good shape for Mother's Day. We might have to postpone that till Monday. But you know, it would be huge to be able to win at home, you know, and finally seal the deal after all this time. It would be ultra special, but I don't know that it would be any more special than the first time I ever raced here. I really don't. It's just one of the tracks that you've always wanted to win at. All your family, your friends, people that helped you get to where you are today all live here in the Kansas City area, and it'd be cool to celebrate that with them.
Go to your right to Lee.
You talked about a fresh start, being with, you know, your new team, and what a great team it is. You think we'll get some of the old Clint back? You think we'll get that guy that just, you know, likes to hang out, have fun, and enjoy what he's doing on the racetrack?
Lee, have you been gone? Have you been missing? I've been having a hell of a good time. I started in Daytona having a good time. You got to get on the fun bus. That's where we're at. No, last year it sucked. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun for anybody, especially me. So it's it's biased. The good news is the bus station picked us up and we jumped on the fun bus clear back in Daytona.
Chris?
I don't know how you missed it. It's a big ass bus. You've clearly missed it. It did for me. Yes. When I walked out of one building and got in the other one, it was a fun time. Trust me. Yes, it was overnight. I woke up one morning as a Stuart Haas employee. That was a good time.
Party on, Chris Knight.
Yeah. Speaking of partying on, there was a lot of discussion on SiriusXM this weekend that said if you won, whether you won or Dale Jr. win, who would have the bigger party, and everybody, the fans seemed to think that you would have a bigger party than Dale Jr. if you won on
That I would?
Yeah, on Saturday night. Would you?
What's he going to have, a bike riding party, a bike riding event? What has happened to this guy? I so hope you write that and he reads that. No, man, it's just all about cherishing that moment and you know, reliving it. That's what it's all about. But yeah, we'd have a large time. I know the hot spots around here. He doesn't. Huh? I think probably everybody would have an open invite. Yes.
Good deal.
I have a sponsor with a hell of a product sponsor, or a teammate with a hell of a product sponsor, so probably be St. Louis isn't very far away either. We'll be fine.
Good deal. Well, Clint, I'll let you go. I'll let you get ready for
Probably.
practice so you can get that party planning all in shape, and you know.
All about a party.
That's right.